Hello, everyone. In our last update for Chainlink, we were looking for some upside follow through. We weren't sure if we're going to get it, and looks like we actually did get it, although we are in a bit of a pullback at the moment. Whether that pullback is good or bad depends on how we continue the next few days. That's what we're going to go over today. But before I go on with any analysis, the charts will be available in the description below in links. And well, here we go. 30-minute view on Chainlink. I almost said LinkedIn there, Chainlink, and we still have our 1-2 setup in place that we looked over in our last update, and it looked like we made it through our pivot box, which is the 0.618 to 0.764 extension off this larger 1-2. Things were looking great until we broke back down through our support, which is usually a very clear sign that we don't have an impulse. And if you look at this thing, we pulled back well below what we're calling the first wave. So right now, if this is a bullish setup, it's definitely not an impulsive setup. At best, we may be in some kind of a diagonal. So in other words, we are very likely going to have a 5-wave structure, but with zigzag patterns for the internal structures. I'm trying to get this thing out here. So let's suppose we start back here. That would still be our first wave. One of these would be our second wave. So we're going to keep our second wave here. And we could call this the third wave, or maybe we have a little higher to go, something like that, with another fourth wave to come and a further and higher fifth wave to come here. Again, the structure's a little messy here, so it's not clear what exactly is happening with Chainlink in particular, but some of the other coins do give us some more clues. I'm going to shift over to Bitcoin real quick to give you guys a better idea of what I'm considering as a leading diagonal. This had more of a diagonal look to it the whole way. So we had our bottom on June 18th, and first wave that top probably up here, second wave down here, maybe a third wave in the form of a zigzag like so. And this is a pretty deep pullback. So this best counts as a fourth wave in a diagonal, which means we should have one higher high for a fifth wave. If we can get that, that'll be a very convincing sign that we do have a 5-wave leading diagonal up. But we're going to have to see that turnaround happen relatively quick. In Ethereum, the other main cryptocurrency, the feelings are mutual. The situation is similar to what we're seeing in Bitcoin. We had a clear impulsive setup before. Since we actually did pierce through our 1.618 extension, it would have been very good to not have broken down through our 1.0 extension. That's the standard. If you get your third wave up to the 1.618, you should hold the 1.0 extension support, but we just pierced it. That was at 1401. We've gone as low as 1360, 1350, somewhere in that range. However, the peak may not actually be this little bar over here. It might be the candle back here. This actually could be some kind of a flat correction. So in a way, maybe we're still holding support, because if you don't make the 1.618, you only cross the 1.382 extension. The 0.764 extension is your support. That would put us at 1306. So technically, by the textbook, we are still holding an impulse. This internally, the structures could go either way. You could call these zigzags up, or they could somewhat subdivide in tortured fashion into impulses. This does look like an ABC. So regardless, we have a lot of strong evidence to suggest that we are progressing in more of a diagonal kind of setup. And if that's the case, we may see a lower low in Ethereum before we're ready to take off for real. That doesn't change our upside targets. I'd still expect us to get a good bit over. And finally, we'll look at kind of touch on Bitcoin Cash real quick. A lot of the altcoins look similar. There's really nothing of note here. This could be a fourth and a fifth, not particularly clear. And finally, Dash. I'm going to show this because this often has clean looking structures, while Chainlink is often the leading indicator of a change in sentiment. Dash often has the cleanest structures. And as you can see here, just as messy, we don't even have higher highs here. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it doesn't look particularly bearish either. So that's what's going on. Dash, taking it back to Chainlink, we need to see some upside continuation. So if this is going to hold as our actual fourth wave, we need to see some we need to see a high at least break through probably the $8 mark, preferably even higher than that. Now, that is the short-term picture in the cryptos. Shifting over to the stock market real quick. This is the ES mini futures, which represents the S&P 500. And here too, we've been in zigzagville. We don't really have too many impulsive 5-wave structures. As a matter of fact, since our May in the middle of June, we have 3-wave zigzag up, a big 3-wave flat down here. That was the low that we hit back on July 14th. That got everyone in a panic. And we've been progressing in very bizarre and non-impulsive fashion. You could call this an ABC up, some kind of possibly a B wave or a second wave down. This could be a third wave. in the middle of some kind of fourth wave and might have one more high to go, or it could be just a big A, B, C up, the B wave coming in, another C wave. It's very unclear, but the point is we're not seeing clear upside continuation, at least in the short term. Now, shifting to the big picture chart, nothing has changed and hasn't in a little while. We haven't broken any supports. I did go over the fact that we have what seems almost like a triple bottom back here. We had our original bottom on May 12th or so, and we've actually hit that number a few more times since, right around that 542 mark. And well, I mean, it does look like consolidation. Again, we don't have any kind of real 5 of impulsive upside structures yet. If we can get that, that would be great, because I do expect the last leg of our rally to take impulsive form, 5 of form, as you see in green. Otherwise, may have that nominally lower low. That orange pattern does remain on our chart. It doesn't really hurt things on the big picture, or technically speaking, you do often see throwovers. So we saw one back here where we went past the channel trend line up the top. We could see the same thing happen here. It would be like pulling a bowstring before it would launch back into the 5th wave. So ultimately, there's not much difference between whether we don't get a lower low or we do get a slightly lower low for our for the orange pattern that could take us down to 415 or 339. Now, if you're looking to accumulate, if you've been dollar cost averaging, I guess keep doing it. No reason to do any kind of panic selling or panic buying. I know we have sometimes 10, 15% days up. Don't get caught in the sentiment. Keep doing what you're doing. Only sell if you need that cash for something else, or if you're planning to diversify. I'll reiterate again, don't put everything in a Chainlink or Bitcoin Cash or Dash or Stellar. Divide it up. If you have a huge amount of funds in any one of those coins, please diversify. The only exception would be Bitcoin or Ethereum. Those are the 2 OGs. I would suggest if it's any other altcoin, have at least 5, 6, or 7, maybe even more. Diversification counts. You never know which crypto could collapse. What to expect in Chainlink next? Well, I mentioned we need to see a more impulsive structure. We need to see a quick turnaround. Even if Chainlink doesn't show it, if we can see some more bullish action in the other cryptos, that could be a good sign. And if we really want to get this rally going in earnest, we need to see at least a rally to about anywhere between $13 to $18. If we can get a big 5-wave impulsive structure into that range and a subsequent pullback in our second wave, that would be the big buying opportunity, because we go from the mid-teens all the way up, maybe into the $50, $60, $70 range just for the third wave alone. Our final top would very likely coincide with the tops of all the other cryptos, as well as the stock market and just about everything else. I would expect the everything top to come and hit sometime in 2023. The timings won't match up perfectly, but you're going to see a lot of different asset classes run ahead. They may have tops and start collapsing after that. But again, as I say, we have bigger fish to fry right now. We need to see some bigger upside extensions before you can even think about projecting any kind of top. I know this has an optimistic target of end of January as a top, but again, we still got 6 months till that point. See if we can put something together. If you enjoyed my video, don't forget to give me a like. I'll have plenty of updates coming your way. Subscribe so that you don't miss those. And until next time, thank you for watching and happy trading.